Hello. Sorry, the day's a little bit spook. Um, okay. Last day, we public settlement, sentiment, public sentiment，主要是媒体的控制，购买了25家，11个媒体人提议购买25家大媒体，用广告资金的投入来控制媒体，不行的话就直接给钱。Organ control over shipping. Organ control over shipping. 帮我翻译成中文。摩根对航运的控制，哇，涉及到巴拿马运河了。Banking was not the only business in which Morgan had a strong financial interest. Using his control over the nation's railroads as financial leverage, he had created an international shipping trust, which included Germany's two largest lines plus one of the two in England, the White Star Lines. Morgan had attempted in 1902 to take over the remaining British line. The Canal Company, but was blocked by the British Admiralty, which wanted to keep Canada out of foreign control so her ships could be pressed into military service if necessary in time of war. The Lusitania and the Mauritania were 这个是 Mauritania, Lusitania, Mauritania were built by Grant and became major competitors of the Morgan cartel. That is an interesting footnote of history. Therefore, from the Morgan perspective, the Lusitania was quite dispensable. John Crown explained. Dispensable. Pierpont assembled the plan for an American-owned shipping trust that would transpose his community of interest principle, cooperation among competitors in a given industry, to a global plane. He created the largest fleet under private ownership. An important architect of the shipping trust was 有没有流量啊？没有流量啊？天哪！卡了这，卡了。 OK， 有流量。Was Amber America of vessels was the world's largest shipping company. Pierpont had to contend with a single holdout British Scottish Line. After the Boer War, the Morgan combined and Conrad exhausted each other in debilitating rate war. 什么意思？什么意思？这点庞大要建立美国所有的航运信托，将它的利益共同原则及某一行业经日之间的合作推广到全球层面。利益共同体，世界上最大的私人文化，这是利益共同体。这里，它的汉堡每周有数百艘船只，是当时世界最大的。皮尔庞特不得不面对一个顽强的对手——英国的Cunard航运公司。在布尔战争之后，在激烈竞争中相互消耗殆尽。注明一下翻译细节，谢谢。JP Morgan Pierpont 指的是 JP Morgan John Pierpont Morgan assumed a plan for American-owned ship trust that would transpose his community of interest 利益共同体 principle cooperation among competitors in a given industry to a global plane 平面。He created the world's largest on the private ownership An important architect of the shipping trust was Arthur Bailey. Humber America Steamship 美洲轮船公司 with hundreds of vessels, the world's largest ship company. Pierpont had to contend with a single holdout. After Boer War, the Morgan combined 集团 exhausted each other debilitating As stated previously, Morgan had been retained as the official trade agent for British. He handled the purchasing of all war materials in the United States and coordinated their shipping as well. Following in the footsteps of Rothschild's centuries past, he quickly learned the profitable skills of wartime smuggling. As stated previously, Morgan had been retained 削减了 Morgan had been retained 保留保持付定金聘定哦，挡住 retain 留住了 Official trade agent of British. He handled the purchasing of all war materials and in the status and coordinated with their shipping as well. Following the footsteps of Richard Further's centuries past, he quickly learned the profitable skills of war smuggling. 战时走私的盈利技巧 Throughout the period of Americans' neutrality 的中立性 British servicemen in civilian clothes worked at Morgan's. This great banking combine rapidly established such a labyrinthine network of force shippers, bank accounts, and all the paraphernalia of smuggling that, although they fooled the Germans, there were also some very serious occasions when they flummoxed the Admiralty and Cunard, not to speak to the unfortunate passengers on the lines which carried the contraband. 什么意思呢？您是英语老师，帮我翻译成中文，标明翻译细节。Throughout the period of Americans' neutrality, British servicemen in civilian clothes worked at Morgan's. In civilian clothes, worked at Morgan's. This great banking combined rapidly established such a layerless network. 迷宫版的 network， 错综复杂的 labyrinth thing network. Force shippers, bank accounts, and all the paraphernalia of smuggling. 各种物件 paraphernalia of smuggling. Smuggling. Although they fooled the Germans, There were also some very serious occasions when they flummoxed the administration. Flummoxed.他们也让其他公司困惑不已。Not to speak of the unfortunate passengers of liners on the liners which carry the contraband. Contraband， 更不用说那些搭载违禁品的大量货运上的进乘客了。Liners 远洋货轮，邮轮 liner。英国军人在摩根走私公司秘密进行走私的情况，建立一个复杂的走私网络，不仅蒙骗德国人，也给自己机关很麻烦。The Lusitania was a British passenger liner that sailed regularly between Liverpool and New York. She was owned by the Cunard Company, which, as previously mentioned, was the only major ship line which was a competitor of the Morgan cartel. She left New York, Hamburg, sunk by a German submarine off the coast of Ireland 6 days later. Of the who lost their lives, 195 were 195 were Americans. It was this event more than any other that provided the advocates of war with a convincing platform for their views, and it became the turning point where Americans reluctantly began to accept, if not necessary, of war, at least its inevitability. 这就成了事件的转折